Sir, in the past 4.5 years, a large number of interventions have gone in from the state government side, and just linking back to the discussions that we had and I had replied to. In continuation to that, sir, I would just broaden the discussion and the reply, and like to just give an idea about some of the more critical areas like infrastructure and other areas and the work that has happened in these sectors, sir. So today, Meghalaya is among the better performing states in the implementation of critical centrally sponsored programs, sir. Sir, in the last 4.5 years, over 2,100 kilometers of rural roads under PMGSY have been constructed, which means on an average we have built almost 2.2 kilometers of road every day over the last 2 years. To date, we have spent over 3,800 crores under PMGSY and connected 550 habitations. Several critical roads will be completed, sir, and dedicated to the people of the state this year. The most important ones include the Mairang Rani Godown Azra Road, number 2, the Rongram Pulbari Hill Road, number 3, the Dauki Bholaganj Road, number 4, the Bajingdoba Resubelpara Mendipatar Damra Road, which is, sir, going through your constituency, and I know that you're very concerned about this, but I can assure you, sir, this road also is progressing fast. We have some challenges because of rain, but it's progressing very fast. And the Pasya Garampani Road. So the construction of internal roads in the towns of Tura has already begun, and in the town of Williamnagar, Jowai and Nongstoin will be commenced very soon. So we are in the process of allocating the work. So other large projects like the Umsning Jagi Road and the Nongstoin Mawet Road will also be initiated soon, sir. In fact, recently I had gone to lay the foundation stone for the Jagi Road, and we will be going very soon with Honorable Deputy Chief Minister to lay the foundation for the Nongstoin Mawet Road. The works have already been allotted, and we expect that that during this, just after maybe the rain seasons, we expect that the works will be started, sir. So the Umroi Airport has been made functional and has direct connections to 8 different locations, sir. One is Kolkata, second Guwahati, third Dibrugarh, fourth Dimapur, fifth Silchar, 6 Agartala, 7 Aizawl, and 8 Imphal, sir. Sir, I also would like to inform this August House that we in the Cabinet are bringing up a proposal soon to rename these different airports, sir. So we are proposing that the Umroi Airport should be named as late B.B. Lingdo Airport, and the Jingjal Airport, which is Tura Airport, be named as Captain William Sangma Airport, sir. These proposals will be brought out very soon, and we want to take this forward because we feel that these are leaders who have contributed greatly to our society and to our state, and the least that we could do as a government is to honor them by naming the 2 important infrastructures and the airports after these great leaders, sir. There are many, of course, many other leaders who are there, sir. We are not undermining anybody, but we strongly felt that at least these 2 projects should be named after these 2 great leaders of our state, sir. So we would also like to mention that the plan to construct a new airport to enable the operationalization of larger aircrafts and improve connectivity are also underway. And we have also decided that the runway at Baljik Airport will be extended to make it operational for slightly more larger aircrafts. And the discussion is going on with Airport Authority of India, sir. So the Shillong Government College of Engineering and the College of Architecture and Urban Planning, Tura, is close to completion, sir. During 2021-22, the renovation of 208 schools at the cost of 101 crores was taken up. Sir, I remember in one of the discussions that was taken place, some member had raised the question about the cess being collected for minerals for the purpose of education. And for many years in the past, though the cess was being collected in the name of education, but it was actually not being spent for that purpose. When our government came in, sir, we looked at all the revenues and the purposes for which the revenues were being collected. And that is when the cabinet decided that we should utilize the funds for the purpose that it is meant for. So, Mr. Chairman, sir, we have, in the last 2 years, we have done precisely that. And we have worked towards the renovation of 208 government LP schools, which were in completely dilapidated conditions. As a lot of the members and our honorable members who are here from the ruling side also have raised their concerns, as saying that they are completely dilapidated. Sir, I'm happy to inform you that almost 100 of them are complete, and very soon, on the 26th or 27th of this month, we will be virtually inaugurating at least 50 of them. And the others also, as we move along, we will keep inaugurating the other schools. And I'm happy to inform you also, sir, Mr. Chairman, sir, that this phase 2 of this project, where we are supposed to take up another 100 schools, has also been approved. And the 11 higher secondary schools which are still not completed, even they, on an average of 3 to 5 crores, depending on the estimates of each college, each school, higher secondary government schools, will be sanctioned. That means an average 11, so about 45 crores is being sanctioned for the higher secondary schools, which means once we complete this, all the government higher secondary schools will have a new building. Once we finish the first phase, as I said, we are finishing with 208 schools. In the second phase, we have 100 schools. And in phase 3, we'll be having another 115 schools. Apart from these, where new buildings will be constructed, there are close to about 1,500, close to 1,600 schools, which are not really dilapidated, but in a very bad condition. So the government has decided that we will be sanctioning anything between, depending on the overall situation or overall condition, of the school, anything between 3 lakhs to 6 lakhs to renovate these buildings. And I'm happy to inform you, sir, that it will go down in the records in the history of our state, that in these 5 years of this MDA government, with the support of all the MLAs working together and the entire cabinet, all the government LP schools, all the government secondary schools and all the government higher secondary schools will get a new building, or they will be completely renovated, sir. And this is something that had been pending for a very long time. And it is this government that has decided this. And as was mentioned by the Honorable Education Minister, who is the person who is behind this and driving this with full force, as he announced, he has come up with this 100-day mission program, sir. In 100 days, these B category and C category, we call them, depending on the condition of the schools. So C category is not very bad condition, B category is minor repairs, and A category, of course, means a new building completely. So this B and C categories, we have decided that we're going to go in a mission mode. And we have asked the concerned agency, which is going to take up this work, that with a full team, with full involvement of departments, with full involvement of deputy commissioners and all the officials, and including the political leaders also, we will make sure that these 1,600 schools, which are in a B category and C category, must be renovated and completed within 100 days. So, and we are very, very certain that we will be able to complete this particular target also, sir. Sir, I would also like to inform you that similarly, there are a number of projects we have taken up under water supply, be it the Sora water supply, which is your area, the Tura water supply, the Nongstoin, the Greater Shillong, the Bakmara. All these projects are being taken up, and now just recently, through the schemes from Government of India, we were able to sanction 121 crores for William Nagar water supply scheme. And just recently, the Honorable Minister from Government of India had come to lay the foundation stone along with me. And this again is a very long pending demand of the people of Williamnagar. So similarly, we are working very hard to ensure that there's reforms in the power sector. In the Ganol hydropower projects, we are expecting that by the end of this year, we will be able to operationalize at least first or second units of the project, and which will ensure that the power supply and functioning of this power plant starts. We are targeting that within this calendar year itself, we are pushing to ensure that the production of power, at least from one of the units, should start within this calendar year, sir. At the same time, sir, there is a huge reform under the Meghalaya Power Distribution Sector Improvement Project, which is at a cost of 1,240 crores, which will ensure that a complete revamp of the distribution system is done, which will ensure that the overall supply is improved and the AT&C losses at the end are also reduced, sir. So we have also seen that yesterday I had visited the Crowborough, the old Crowborough the hotel, sir, and as we know that it's been lying unfinished for the last 36 years. And finally, sir, with all the efforts of all the department and the stakeholders and our different agencies that have supported, so the Taj Vivanta Shillong will be inaugurated on the 26th or 27th of this month. They were supposed to do it within this particular session itself, but the promoters had requested that this is not an auspicious time for them, and they requested that the date should be any time after 25th, where according to their belief that the auspicious time starts for them. So we didn't waste any further time. So since they said 25th, I said 26th. So we are quite positive that by 26th, I saw the setup yesterday, sir, and it has indeed come out really well. And in the limited constraints of how the building was constructed initially and having to work with that particular infrastructure and civil work, the designers and the particular promoters had to play with whatever was given to them. But from what I could see that has come out, they have done an excellent work. And Mr. Chairman, sir, I'm sure you will be there also on 26th. So you'll be able to see how the first hotel of this level is going to come up. And very soon, we expect that the Marriott Group's Courtyard brand of hotels will also be inaugurated very soon. We are expecting within this calendar year, we expect these two hotels to be inaugurated, sir. So apart from that, we also have realized that as we move along, the IT sector is something that we feel has a huge potential. And hence, when we set up or inaugurated the first IT park of 1,500 seater, so the place was sold out in no time. And in fact, there was oversubscription for the different facilities out there. And that is what has prompted us to go for the second phase. And the second phase may be double or triple the size of the first phase because there's a huge potential. And we have in touch with a large number of organizations who have already shown interest in doing this. And with the expansion of the IT park, we do expect, sir, that we will see huge employment being generated directly as well as indirectly in terms of the different kinds of services that are required to run an IT sector, sir. So you're also aware, Mr. Speaker, sir, that the State Cabinet has approved the Meghalaya Ropeway Bill, and it has been placed in the House, and it will be taken up tomorrow. And this Meghalaya Ropeway Bill is a great step forward. In fact, it should have been done quite some time back. But now this particular bill, when it will be in place, will allow us to take up different ropeway projects and specifically for the tourist areas. And I am happy to inform the House that the process and the work for the Shillong Peak ropeway process is already on. We expect that the tenders will be called for the Shillong ropeway, the Shillong Peak ropeway project. The tenders will be called within a very short time. Work also after due process will be allotted. And I expect that within this calendar year itself, that means before December, we should be able to see the actual foundation and the work for these also starting, sir. So there are many other projects, but because of the paucity of time, I will not be able to go through each and every one of them. I have dealt in length regarding the agri and the allied industries in my earlier reply, sir, so I will not be going too much into those areas. But one area which is very of great importance, sir, is really this entire concept which started right at the beginning of this government, which was this program that was linking the women of our state to the different sectors or different areas to which they were connected or through which they were affected. And this thought process started with the entire problem of the maternal mortality rates. And we realized that mothers were dying and were losing their lives while they were bringing, as I said, while they're bringing a life into this world, one life is being lost. And it just is very unfair to know that while a mother is bringing a life, she has to lose her life. And therefore, this prompted us to say that not a single mother should lose her life while giving birth to a child. And hence, this long drawn plan and program started, where we realized that it's not just about the day the child is delivered. It's not about just that moment when the mother is not able to reach the hospital. It's an entire process and sequence that starts even before the child is conceived. We realize that there are problems where mothers the gap between the first and second child is too small. And therefore, the pressure on the mother's health is much more. We realize that leads to a lot of aspects of nutrition deficiency, anemic mothers, and these are what causes the high risk that are there in mothers, which leads to their deaths. So hence, it is about really a program which will ensure that the different reasons that lead to the ultimate death of the mother need to be looked into. And that's when we realized that one of the best ways to ensure that we are able to address this issue is to economically empower our women. And this started the journey for us to look into how the self-help group movements can come in. And I have spoken about this hundreds of times, sir, in this house, that most probably the story of the self-help group movement in Meghalaya will be one of the best and the most satisfying stories that we can tell, sir. It's not about the numbers we achieve, sir, as I said, but it's the difference that we are making in the lives of not just the mother of that house, but in the lives of the children and the entire family who are dependent. And this story is something, sir, that is worth really understanding and going into. And the other day I was in Morankneng, and we were talking to some of the self-help groups, and I was telling them that it's not just about your group. You may be a group and you're doing, getting some, revolving fund, and you're getting, capital investment fund, different kind of loans. We have released almost close to 380 crores in the last 4 years for different financial supports to be given to these self-help groups. But what we are telling them is that we have created an institutional network and a system. It's like putting wiring, sir. So today, the wiring that we have done is connecting every rural household to this program. And very soon we are coming out with an app that is going to now connect all these 4.5 lakh women who are part of this massive self-help group movement. Almost one from every rural household is in this movement. And tomorrow, sir, it's like, as I said, like wiring. So tomorrow, anything we would like to, message we would like to send, or programs we'd like to implement, we can do it just with a click of a button or just activating the different systems that are there. And that is really the beauty of what has happened in the last 4.5 years. And I must put it on record, sir, that this has been possible, not because we said that you have to do it, but this has happened because of the hard work of the officers who were behind it, sir. There was a different level of commitment that I saw in the workers and the officers who worked in this program, sir. I was one day reading a small message that I saw given by some particular officer who told me that one particular junior officer in that district, walked for 7 hours to reach a particular village just so that he or she could form a self-help group of about 15 women. And that kind of passion that they had has what led to the overall success of this particular self-help group movement. And the reason I'm spending so much of time in this, sir, is that, as I said, it's not just a self-help group movement. It's linked to the mother's health. It's linked to the family's health. It's linked to the child's health. And when I say health, I don't mean just the health of physical health, but the financial health, the overall social health. And this has an impact like no other program will have, sir. And that is why we started connecting these dots. We connected the fact that the self-help groups need to be formed. We realized that the child's nutrition has to be improved, and hence the nutrition was given. And as you're aware, sir, the SAM and MAM children percentage from 90% today has come down to less than 10%. It's a huge improvement, and even Government of India has congratulated the state government for achieving this. We realized that we need to, develop our children for early childhood development. We realized then the youth programs have to be made. So it's, once you start getting into and digging into these issues, you realize there's small problems. And again, as the reason I'm mentioning this is to answer the question that the honorable member who had raised this motion, that where are we going in the next 50 years? What is our program? What is our plan? The last 50 years, we have achieved what we could. Everybody has contributed to this overall development of our state. Few things could have been different, but that's something that we can always say hindsight. It's very easy to criticize. But there has been a lot of work, sir. The question is, what foundations are we laying tomorrow, and how do we today so that we can grow tomorrow, sir? And I want to tell you, sir, and the honorable member, that investment in human capital is the most important investment, sir. Infrastructure, all these things we will create. But if you were to ask me what is the biggest challenge, I keep telling all our officials also and all team members who are working with me that we are a small state. It is only by ensuring that every single individual, every single youth becomes productive in the long run, we will not be able to outgrow the other states which we plan to do. We have a target to be in the top 10 in 10 years. What does that require? That requires that every single individual has to be able to do more than what he or she is doing today. For that, what do we have to do? For that, we have to promote, we have to support, we have to finance, we have to train, we have to select, have scientific approaches, have proper policy in place, have different funding patterns, have different infrastructures. All these things are required, but in the center of all of this are the individuals and the human resource that are going to make things happen. And hence, we as a government must remember that investment in human resource is going to be key to ensuring that we are able to reach that goal today. And that's why, sir, as I keep mentioning, early childhood development. A lot of people don't understand or don't take the early childhood program very seriously. But early childhood program is so important. We are spending 300 crores in this program, the first of its kind in the country. Is because the child's mind grows the maximum before the age of 8. And hence, if we want to see our children to be more productive, we must invest in their cognitive process, their thinking capacity, their analyzing capacity, their learning capacity while their brain is receptive to it. And hence, this early childhood program between 1 and 8 is very critical to be able to produce and be able to train our children to that level, sir. Apart from that, we also realize that there are so many social evils. There's so many problems in society today. Drug abuse is one. We have issues with social media. We have issues with teenage pregnancy. We realize, sir, all of these also require that we guide our children. Sometimes we realize that after the child is, has done the wrong thing, started using drugs, we blame the children. Well, they are to blame to some extent, but I think we are equally to blame as parents and as political leaders, as officers and people of society, where we have maybe not done our part. So what I'm trying to get at is, sir, is that as we move along, these areas of mother's health, these areas of nutrition for the child, these areas of early childhood development, proper vaccination, so these are proper, guidance during the adolescent age, proper guidance during the teenage age. So these are the important areas in the long run where we'll need to focus, because without the human capital, without people being there, without productive people being there, all the programs we make will be of no use. And that's why we realize, for example, colleges. So we're realizing that we have about 80,000 colleges. You know, we have close to, I may be wrong, sir, I don't want to be quoted exactly with this, but we have less than 70,000 seats in these colleges. And we realize that we have a population of close to 4 lakh plus who are college-going children, youth. Now, if 4 lakh children are there, of that age group, at least 30% of them should be, according to the national average, be in the colleges. And hence, you require seats for at least 1,50,000 children to study in colleges. Now, we don't have that, sir. And that's the reason why Honorable Minister has said we need to focus on more people's college. And as we move along, we will try, depending on our financial resources that we have, we will try our best to ensure that more colleges, people's colleges come up. I know that there's a huge demand for it, and it's required also, but obviously, sir, we have our financial challenges in that area, sir. So, sir, apart from that, as I said, there are many areas that are there. I can continue to speak on that, but, sir, in the interest of time and in the interest of other motions that are there, I give my submissions, and of course, if the honorable member has any other further clarifications, I'll be happy to clarify. But as I said, sir, that the coming 50 years will be very exciting, and there are a lot of important things that we will need to do, and many things that we have done has been with that mindset of looking forward in 50 years. As was correctly mentioned by the honorable member himself, that we have been doing 50 years, we have been not able to resolve the border issue. It's about time that we came together and found a solution to this and not play politics with this issue. We had so many smaller minor issues that are there which also needed resolution but could not be resolved. We are working towards those, sir. We realize that infrastructure is important and we need better infrastructure in the coming days. We have implemented and put a lot of stress on infrastructure, as you could see from the first part of my reply. And obviously, sir, the crux is at the end is with the human capital that we have. And we have made all our efforts to move in a very scientific manner to be able to address that particular issue also, sir. So, sir, with these few submissions and few words, I hope I have been able to satisfy to some extent the concerns of the honorable member. And with that, sir, I once again thank you for giving me this opportunity to reply, sir, and I would like to resume my seat. Thank you very much, sir.